of baseball? Wasn't that bad, was it? You want me to start us?
Go ahead.
That's a big win, character win. He backs against the wall at home. Obviously, it's early in the season, but we talk all the time about one of three things is going to happen on game 3, which is usually Sunday. You got a chance to get a sweep. It's the rubber game, or your back's against the wall and you're trying to prevent the sweep. Tip my hat to Virginia. I thought they played really well. I thought at times we played well. I thought that last game we played a complete game. And this league is so razor thin. If you don't play a complete game, you won't win. I mean, you just look at those games. I don't know if I've seen many games where we struck out 18 batters and lost. But Knapp set the tone. 2 transfers, man, they were outstanding. And I mean, Poston, he just keeps doing it, and that's why you coach. You look at a guy like that who got here, didn't throw a lot of strikes in the fall, got a little bit better, and now he's been one of our best relievers. So, big win for the Tar Heels for sure.
He's the only guy who hasn't given up a run.
Did you say that? Come on, you're a baseball guy with a Cubs hat on.
Well, I said it before the game was over, and he didn't give up one. So,
I mean, the play of the game was Casey Cook. That was his first batter. I think that was Poston's first batter he had faced, if I'm correct. Did he come in? Maybe not. But anyway, I mean, that's a Sports Center play. It's got to be on Sports Center. He brought it back in, and he's worked really hard. He's a converted infielder. But again, the thing about that win that pleases me the most as a head coach here is we talk about toughness, talk about playing the Carolina way, hard, smart together, and our guys banded together. They didn't whine, they didn't complain. I talked to them about playing loose and being aggressive, and I really liked everything that I saw. And our older guys, I mean, look at Max stepping up and having a great game like that when he had struggled. Him and Vance got 2 big hits for us, so it's an awesome win for them, especially because it's a great group.
Were you talking about between games telling them to play loose?
Yeah, we just when we were talking in the outfield, it was just not making a mountain out of a molehill. It's just 2 losses. It's just the way baseball works. We're going to play a lot of games, and these guys have been through it last year. We don't want to go through that exact thing again. You don't want to be 18-2 and then 23-18. But they also know that you look at Ole Miss. There's so many good baseball teams. The goal is to try to get a little bit better, and I stay on them all the time about being process oriented. And you hope that they're listening to you, but I just reminded them play aggressive and play loose. You can't play this game tight, and I felt like they did that last game.
Going off that a little bit, I mean, you talked the other day that you kind of compared this team to the 2018 team in regards to kind of playing with a chip on your shoulder. And you look at just kind of the core of this group. I mean, that's kind of something over the course of their careers now.
Yeah.
The last 3 years. I mean, it's really when their backs have been against the walls when they've played their best.
That's
baseball.
when they played their best.
I guess how do you? I don't know. What's this next step to be able to kind of avoid doing it in just those situations? I guess.
Again, the season in baseball is so long.
Yeah.
And you're gonna. I mean, series are series. You can. Last year we got swept three times.
Yeah.
And I want to say in 2011 we had a couple really tough sweeps and won 51 games. But I have told them at the beginning, this team had to learn to manage the preseason rankings and everybody talking about them, and I said, look, that doesn't mean anything. It means absolutely nothing, because the goal is for us to be playing our best baseball when we get to May into June. Now, we want to be in a good position to potentially host a regional or host a super regional, but we're still just trying to get better because, again, you look at Ole Miss, I mean, they were really, that's a good team. And they just had some ups and downs, and they played the best when it mattered the most. But that we do, this team needs to play like that. And when you lose games like that, you tighten up a little bit, and you're locked in every single pitch, and you understand, hey, maybe what coach is saying is right. Like, for us to win the game, we have to play a complete game and play well.
And after you gave up so many runs in the first 2 games, I know you would be hopeful, but did you envision a shutout?
No. I mean, I thought, okay, we're struggling a little bit with the bats, and I really didn't think it would go that way in this series. After scouting Virginia, I thought it would be an offensive series on both sides. I thought both lineups were powerful. I did think their pitchers did a really good job of hammering the lower part of the zone. And again, after that first game, Well, it was last night, right? Golly, last night. Lord have mercy. I'm like, well, we had 18 strikeouts, so they're very, they're pitchable. Carly he just wasn't on, and I thought Bovair threw good. And that one inning where they scored some, we didn't make plays that we have to make at this level. But I knew Knapp. I knew Knapp's he's not just your average Sunday starter. I think he could pitch on Friday. He might pitch on Friday for us. Who knows? That's what you want. You want them nip it at each other's heels. And I felt good that our bullpen was rested and we had some options. I didn't think we'd do it with 2 pitchers. I thought it'd be like 5 or 6, but Poston was hot, so we just rode him.
Did you feel like you got momentum off of Cook's catch? Because after that bottom of the inning, bang, bang, you take the lead.
100%. That was the biggest play of the game. Because, when you're trying to avoid being swept, the guys know it. Everybody knows it. And big plays like that, you get some momentum and you come in and score a couple runs, you feel pretty good about it. Especially with that offense. I mean, that's one of the best offenses in the country. I've been doing this a long time. They're older. They have 2 superstars in their catcher and Galoff, and then their other guys are older as well. They got a couple young guys like we do. But it's a tough lineup to go through, and for us to shut them out in that game says a lot about those 2 guys.
How does a shutout help build confidence within the bullpen and the pitching staff, as well as help get the offense going when they need to?
Well, I mean, number one, when we practice every day and we start with defense, because what does every baseball player want to do? They want to hit, right? They think that's how the game's played, but you can't hit your way to Omaha. And understanding that if you play well defensively and you pitch, you have a chance to win every single game. And you have to win some games to win a championship 1-0, 3-1. And so that was good to see right there.
I know you said earlier this week, you're not concerned about the defense, but I think today was kind of a broad spectrum of what this team is defensively. Where there's been some lapses, but also in the second game today, the defense stepped up huge and made some big plays. Not just Casey's play, but some other plays in the field too.
Yep.
And how would you kind of just assess where you guys are at defensively? I guess.
I think some plays. I think we're going to make some of our errors will be misleading because of the range. Yeah. I think Mac, Colby, and Vandy all have shortstop range. Yeah. So they're going to get to some balls, and they might be caught in error where some guys wouldn't even get to them. But those guys, as the season continues to go along, I think they're going to be more accurate with their throws. They'll continue to get better at the tougher plays. But I like our infield defense, and I like our defense at first base. And it's really good to see Johnny. That's tough on a kid, man. You miss a lot of time. You hadn't faced any live pitching. And he had 2 really good at bat. He had a good one last night, and then he had 2 good ones today. So that's going to give us even more depth because he's so strong and powerful. That was a big swing in the bat with him hitting that home run as well.
Last one.
A little ahead of schedule with him, with those good at-bats, or did you see him in practice?
Yeah, he was able to practice, but he wasn't able to face the machine. And that's not, you need to face, he couldn't face a live arm because he was on the blood thinners, and he, it just takes a while to get your timing down. You kind of see Alberto. He's still not where he was, but Alberto, you could throw out, in my opinion, his first 20 at-bats. He's coming off a broken hamate. So he is a little bit ahead of schedule, but, he's an awesome teammate. He's one of our leaders, but he's got power. And, we'd like to be to plug in one more guy that can lose it at any time. So we'll see if we can work Stokely a little bit in another place just for fun, right? All right, y'all have a great Sunday.